What's up, everybody? How you doing? How you doing? Today, I can't go that low. What's up? This is stream number 2 for this day. May the 4th be with you. Okay. Make myself a little bigger. Conceal the OBS I'm looking at down here. Yeah, I gotta make sure I'm not doing anything goofy. It's important. Alright. A little bit quieter for us in this fine live stream that we're doing here today. And not exactly sure what we're gonna get done, but we'll figure it out. Let me hide this little thing. Boom. Alright. So while I was gone and away from you guys, I did a little bit of cleanup, and I didn't add any new functionality or anything, and I actually lost some of the functionality. We added a cool function to make a pentagram earlier, and I lost it. But that's okay. It's not that hard. It's just basically 5 lines, as you can imagine. And we'll get it back up and running, probably in a better way. Okay. Now, the problem that I want to deal with, I want to show you right now, because it's a serious problem, and it requires dealing with. So over here in events, I need to have a way of adding more lights at once, because it becomes a problem when you add too many lights. So where I have my click event, click add light, yeah, that one. I'll go ahead and comment out the little add light, and instead I'll do add circle of lights. One of these arguments is the radius of the circle. I don't remember which one. I can just look. It's the second one. I definitely don't want a radius of 1. That would be crazy. So let's bump that up to 10. And then the third argument there is the count. Yeah, that's where we're going to need to double that to 16. Or maybe even more. What do we want for 10 radius? Let's go with 40. Yeah, why not? Just to settle it. Alright, now let's see what we got. Nothing. What's the problem? I don't see a problem. Maybe that's too much. Oh yeah, that's way too much. Okay, cool. Real MKB, what's up, man? Still so far so good. Sweet, that's what's up. No issues. That's what I like to hear. Alright, so here we go. No issues. And then we'll start to add a bunch of these little circles. And then you notice it starts to get choppy. And then you know it's pretty much untenable. Can't even be done. Dealt with, whatever. So that's a no-no. I have a couple of ideas for how to deal with this. Number one, I'd like to see, first of all, I'm just going to see how many of these circles I have to add until it starts getting choppy. And then I'm going to try to make little changes and see. You know what? I don't like that, actually. I don't like that. I'd like to stress test it where all the lights are filled up. That should really be the point where it's going to be, you know, working, whatever. Okay, so let's add another function here. Fill the board with the lights, which I've done before. I'm gonna actually say with random lights. Hopefully it understands what I mean. Random colored lights. Oh yeah, it does. It knows that I mean that. Cool. Alright, so this function right here is going to kind of probably take a long time, and it's going to be pretty insane. So let's try it out. So there's the click to add light. And instead of that, we want to do our fill lights, fill board with, yeah, whatever, that thing. MKB. My computer's still not crashed, which is nice as well. This kind of problem is an overall nice problem to have, as money solves it. Worst case scenario, no disrespect, as this is JS, you want to test it on a cheap $100 phone just because it works great on a PC with dedicated graphics card. Don't mean it will be, yeah, dude, 100%. Yeah, you're absolutely right, man. The thing is also that now that you mentioned that, I don't think that my browser is actually using the GPU. Let me check that. So give it a second. Chrome. Where's Chrome? There it is. Google Chrome. It is using the GPU. It is. Well, that settles that. All right. So let's test out this fill entire board with random lights function. And I knew it was going to take a little bit. Even without GPU support, most desktop CPUs are multiple times faster than phones. Yeah, dude, totally. I have a i9 in here. It's super fast. And definitely stress testing on a lesser system was on the agenda for sure. But this is supposed to... There's things I can do to this to make it a lot better. But as you can see right there, yeah, not good performance at all. But it is still pretty. Alright, let's close out of this monstrosity. Alright. So, one thing we can do right now is we can kind of reduce the number of vertices on each light. See what kind of effect that can have on our performance. So, where we have the add light function, I think we have the cylinder geometry gets passed in. So this is where we're controlling the number of vertices. on that. So let me just Google this THREE.js geometry here just to make sure I got the right argument. What is this? Close out of Chrome, I guess. Yeah, I know, man. It's, trust me, I'm doing a lot of stuff the wrong way. So once I get it sorted out, it will be hopefully okay. And even if it's not, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's still a fun project. Don't be a negative Nancy. All right, so yeah, there we go. Radial segments, height segments, open-ended. Yeah, we basically just want to lower these. I thought it was the second and third argument. Is it not? Where'd it go? Did I navigate away from it? I don't see it. Oh, I hate that format right there. It says 1, 2, 3, 4. The radial segments. I think we need at least 3, and it'll become a triangle. Let's see how the triangle performs. All right. Yeah, it's an opportunity to cross-sell cloud computing to anyone with a cheap phone or non-i9 system. They can rent out. Yeah, that's a good point, I guess. All right, so as you can see, the triangles are not really performing much better, so that's a non-solution, I'd say. All right, what else can we do? We can obviously reduce the number of pegs that we have, but there is a more complete solution. I'm getting to it. I don't see much coming out of these, but there's one more little quick thing we can do. Let's see what happens when we just kind of null out the light, and yeah, not much else to add to that. So null out the light and see if it has a better performance. But first, I guess we can get rid of the post-processing. That'd be the easiest thing for me to just kind of just comment out. No problem. Like that. Yeah, man. I don't think of a better way to test this, really. This function sucks. Okay, that's without the post-processing. And I'm trying to scroll on it, and you can see how unresponsive it is. Still pretty bad. Not really much happening there. So I don't think it's the post-processing that is to blame in and of itself. So I think it's we can probably solve this by mesh instancing. That's what we need to reach for. Maybe. I don't know. Let's go ahead and try to get rid of. Can we just get rid of the mesh? Actually, I was just thinking. No, we can't, because the mesh is part of the light, I suppose. It's being added to it, so I assume it's part of it. Well, can we get rid of the light? Let's see. And then this. I don't know what we do with the light here. Oh, that's the Freaking example window. Nah, that's not right. I mean, we can just not add it to the scene, maybe. No. So we need the light in order to see the freaking thing. Otherwise, I suppose the mesh is not rendered. I guess that's what happens right there. This is largely copied, so it is what it is. And forgot the scene ad. There we go. So I'm thinking that the only option is that big one, instancing. And there's an example of it on the THREE.js examples. Let's take a look at it. You have to be careful because we're using the WebGPU renderer, and the WebGL renderer might not work. That's interesting. WebGL 2? I haven't seen that before. Interesting. What does this do? Ooh, wow. Look at that, dude. I'll have to Google that real quick. What is WebGL 2? Ooh, it looks nice. WebGL, no magic. Not old rehashed OpenGL articles. Any others on the net? They are entirely new. Blah, blah, blah. Big old documentation. I wonder when this came out. I guess I could look at the GitHub. I don't know. I'll look it up later. Alright, so we're looking for the GPU stuff. Man, they keep adding stuff to this. It's pretty cool. Every time I look here, they add something new. It's pretty sweet. I don't even know what this is yet. Yeah, it's just the HDR. It's supposed to be something. It's not working. Alright, so we need instancing in a way that's going to be beneficial to us, and I think that this one might be the best. I'm not sure though. I'm just gonna pick this one. It looks kind of simple. See, they're just pouring objects onto this, and the performance is good. And that's because they're using a different technique than I'm using. Just objects. I guess I can see them deleting though. So maybe that's the real trick. A little bit of sleight of hand. Let's take a look at the code. Alright, so MO physics, that's not what we really care about. That's the floor. That's the light. This is a material, which is a constant. And then they're creating a matrix here. How do you donate? Oh, that's very nice. I'm very flattered. I don't think I have the ability for people to donate yet. I think I need 500 subs or so. I don't know, dude. But yeah, I appreciate it. But I may set something up in the future so you can come back and take a look. That's very nice of you, and that means a lot to me. Okay, so this right here is what we want to focus on, is three.instanced mesh. This is where we're going to hopefully be able to really gain a lot on our performance. So this creates a 3 instance mesh. It passes in geometry. Oh, thank you so much. That means so much to me. Thank you so much. If you haven't already, you could follow me on Twitch. That would help me out a lot. And yeah, I mean, anytime I stream, you know, come join. Feel free to participate. Check out, you know, keep posted. I think I'm going to be doing a little bit more streaming now that I got things in my personal life kind of calmed down. So yeah, I appreciate your support, and yeah, just stay tuned. Well, I can't believe they have this like this. Okay, so it passes in geometry box. I don't see where that's defined. Is that something? Okay, there it is. And okay, so when we are looking at this example right here, we see boxes and spheres. So I imagine that when we're talking about this instance, whatever, what is it called? Instance mesh. These are all the cubes. Okay. So then we have set usage, dynamic draw usage, and then it says it will be updated every frame. That is important because I know that some of our objects, most of our objects, do not need to be updated every frame. They need to be updated once and then they're static. So very, very important. I'm gonna copy that. I'm just gonna copy the whole thing so I can get the context out of it. That one line may not make sense to me in and of itself. Okay, there we go. And then what else do we have? We have boxes.cast shadow set to true. And then we have receive shadow also set to true. With our lights, I'm not sure we have to focus on that because they're the ones that are maybe cast I don't know. I think cast shadow is something else. And then we have physics, something that I'm not worried about at all. They're going to just sit still. And then scene add boxes. Then we have a for loop. And boxes is already... What is this? Hold on a second. Boxes.count. Why do we already have... That doesn't make sense. How do we have a count of boxes? Where are we setting the... Like, why would there already be a count? I didn't see where that happens. What is... I guess what is... There's geometry sphere. And then there's the spheres.count. Do we do it... Yeah, I'm not sure at all. Oh, here. It's probably here, right here, 400. This number right here is probably the count. So, I mean, if we were to take that into our example and we were to implement this instance mesh, maybe we would be pre-rendering all of the lights and then canceling them out. I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, I don't. But let's see. So we're passing in the box geometry. We're setting an instance mesh. The problem that I'm kind of worried about there is that box geometry is a geometry. We're passing in an instance mesh. But I'm worried, like, if we need to add light to these objects, where is that gonna... Let me see. Zero lighting and instance buffer geometry. Yeah, I think this is what we want. There's significant complexity in providing support for directional hemisphering point. through a shader to replicate what can be done with Lambert or Phong materials, yet have the performance gains of batch rendering. Is there existing code to implement these lights without shadows, transparency, or even specular lighting? Okay, let's see what this is. Oh, of course. But I mean, I think it just has to end with HTML. Oh, never mind. Maybe I can search for it. Ooh, nope. Well, that is not very helpful. Somebody has a TS version, that's cool. Let's see what else we got. So they were saying buffer geometry. But I need it to have lights. That's kind of like it, a light. I think those are just opaque objects, to be fair. I don't think those are lights. You can take a look at the code. It's very cool looking. Alright. That is a shader, which I'm not very good at. I mean, I'm not good at it at all. I don't understand it. There's the shader right there. Okay, buffer geometry goes right there. Okay. Try to keep this to the side. Where did we go? I don't know why we ended up back there. Particle system, 3.points. Geometry. Okay, so this is just a buffer and a shader, essentially. Giving it a random color, I guess, and a random position, and a random size, probably. I don't know. Yeah, right here. Or, yeah, random based on the position, whatever. Okay, so that is not light, so that is not helpful. Let's see, let's continue. Blah, blah. Indexed. That's not it. I mean, maybe we could just use something like this instead of the light we're using, but I like the light we're using. I don't want to be married to an idea, though. Ooh, look at that. Look at those balls. Don't clip that. Okay, well, let's take a crack at it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to need is one of them there buffers. And, let's see, where do we want to put that? Turn down this music a little bit. Let myself think. Sip of coffee. A little bit more than a sip. Alright. So I'll try this instance mesh first. And what are we gonna do? So probably in one of my init functions is where I'll manage this. Let's see. Let me get this over here, covering up my pretty face. And Visual Studio up here. where to put the instance mesh. Put it on geometries for now, and we'll move it if we need to. And this will be the pegs mesh, and I don't like it there. I think I need a new JavaScript file. Okay, I'm gonna do that. This is gonna be called pegs. It's okay to name it that, I think. And we're gonna need a lot of this stuff here that we're getting in this other file, so I'm just gonna grab it right away. And we need a constant instance. So const pegs mesh equals, and then hold on, a group. I gotta try group next. Group might be the more simplified way of doing this. Also, I just had a thought real quick. I have to entertain this real quick. Let's see if we have a static light. Can we do a static light? Go to events, add light. Where's the function defined? I can never find it easily. I think there's a function in Visual Studio Code. Is Control R? No, it isn't. Doesn't matter. Okay, so matrix auto update is false. Is this the only thing that we needed? I don't know, let's see. Sometimes the solution is a lot easier than you think, you know what I mean? But in this case, I think we were right. Unless there's a different problem. Here, let me roll, like, let's see. I do want to roll this back, basically. Let me grab my fill the board function and then just roll everything back. Okay, and then I'll add this function again. Let me close out of this though, because this is dangerous. In Visual Studio Code, sometimes you have an old file open or something, I don't know. Alright, so right there is the function that we want, and then in the click add function here instead of add light. What we want is this function. Come on. Okay. And the only thing that I want to make different about this is for my add light function, which is gosh, can never find it quickly. There. I want to make this to where the, first of all, can the mesh be, and then the same with the light. All right, and then does that, my question is, that does that actually break the thing? I think it does. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. You see how the little color changed right there? I think that they're stacking all the lights on one. Huh. Interesting. So maybe I have to add this and this both after the position is set. Maybe this will be the last thing that I add altogether. All right. Let's see how that goes. It'd be really sweet if this was the only thing I needed to do. Let my browser take a chill pill there. I think I got officially old. I like literally felt it in the last few years. Started seeing tech things I don't understand, and CBA to learn was not like this 3+ years ago. It's changed a lot, MKB. It's changed a lot. It's not just you. Like these past few years, it's gotten crazy. But I know what you're talking about. I used to see people like, you know, and be like, what's wrong with them? You know, why are they always so like confused and everything? And now I kind of am starting to feel that way. It's pretty crazy, man. You think your attitude has to it's changed? I think that's getting old. Yeah, I kind of feel like, to me, getting old is like kind of cool. Like I care less, in a way. You know what I mean? Like, I don't walk around like worried about what people think anymore, at all. Just boop. Maybe, you know, if I'm embarrassing my wife, or I don't know. It's never like what it was when I was a teenager or whatever, and I was like, you know, everywhere I went. That was just me personally, probably, but all right. Anyway, let's see if we got this going. Feels like it's doing the same thing, which is weird. Because I feel like if I set it further down, then it'd be okay, right? Let's see if I just get rid of it. Now will I see all these lights again? Oh, I just saw them. Yeah, I think so. And there they are. I'm wondering if we can do like a render callback for the Matrix auto update. It's weird that, you know, you can set the position of them. Let me Google Matrix auto update. See if there's a pretty good to update matrices manually. Blah blah. Where is it mentioned? I'm able to update local matrices easily by object. Three object. Tell it not to do that. So you can manually set the matrix, huh? And I guess that's different than the position. Let's try it. I don't think that's a mesh, though. I hate this function. I can never find it. Alright, so we are still saying light.copy position, and this comes from the position that we're passing in, which is derived from the mouse position. Oh, God. 4 years ago, and I saw something. I think I read that. YouTube video. No. Yeah, like 4 years ago when I saw something I didn't understand, I would sat here until I understood every doc open, every YouTube video. Now, meh, CBA. Although, saying this is just about 2017 LMAO. I tried to understand JS, could never get to grips with React. Lost it. Yeah. MP hello world. Yeah. What really what I can't stand, what really peeves me about React is the fact that you have to use class name instead of class for the classes. That irks me for some reason. Okay, so I guess I'm thinking of something. I just want to try this real quick. I want to try to, oh man. Sorry, 1 second. I was gonna say I want to try to save them in an array, and then on the animate function manually update their positions. Pretty good, right? But I mean, I want to check and see if just doing the mesh will, like, what will that do? If I just make the mesh matrix auto update false. Still pretty bad, huh? How about the other one? Yeah, no, I wanted that. I want that. All right. Let's try that. Yeah. Sometimes JavaScript nowadays gets a little bit cumbersome. That's what I'm dealing with right now. So really the only thing that we can see is the light itself. We're not adding the mesh to the scene. The mesh is added to the light, and the light is added to the scene. So, yeah, this is not doing anything, essentially. So the post-processing is not the issue. Umut Khan, thank you for your support. I appreciate you. Okay. So yeah, we're procrastinating the instance mesh because basically I'm not sure about canceling the lights or whatever, but we could try it. What happens when I don't add the mesh to the light. I wonder, does it become something by default? I don't need to keep doing that. I don't know why I keep stopping my server and all that stuff. Alright. Let's see what happens. Am I hung up here? Not sure what's going on. There we go. So there, even though the light is not rendered, it's still causing performance issues here. You see? Let's see what kind of options we have with point light from THREE.js. Alright, constructor, we got color, intensity, distance, and decay. Alright. Nothing useful here at all. Let's see. If we can do an instanced point light. That's where we already were. Earlier, I asked about the performance impacts of point lights. At the same time, it seemed that things would be okay, but since then, I have discovered a number of issues that I don't know how to solve. That might be the boat that I'm in. The biggest issue is the impact of point lights and portals. It's really slow. Rendering portals entails doing a second render pass before the main render to generate texture maps, which contain the view as seen through the portal. Cool. That's awesome. When I first wrote the portal implementation, I discovered the portal rendering slows down the frame rate a lot unless both scenes, the main scene and the portal view, have identical global parameters, such as the number of clipping planes or whether there is a global environment map. If, for example, the portal view has clipping planes, but the main view does not, THREE.js will recompile the shaders every frame, because the number of clipping planes is defined constant in the shader code. I'm guessing that the number of point lights in the scene has a similar effect, though I'm not sure. All I know is that when point lights are enabled, then anytime the portal comes into view, the frame rate drops to about 1/3 of what it was before. But if I don't put any point lights in the scene, then there is only a slight drop in the frame rate. My kid's waking up. When the portal comes into view. This person looks like they're recreating RuneScape. It's pretty sweet. That's definitely what that is. That's so cool. That's gotta be RuneScape. What do you think? Looks like it. Anybody know RuneScape? Anyway, never mind. Note that in my game world, the number of point lights isn't fixed because my engine, yeah, see? Kinda. It looks like the bar in Varrock. This is Johnny the the town crier, maybe? I don't know. Anyway. Let's just pretend you didn't hear that. Anyway, note that in my game world, the number of point lights isn't fixed because my engine, like Minecraft, supports world of arbitrary size. Pieces of terrain, which I call precincts, are constantly being loaded, cached, and unloaded as the player moves around the world. Interesting. Precincts can contain light sources, so the number of light sources will change based on the player's position. However, precincts are fairly large, 64 by 64 meters, so this doesn't happen very often. And the delay only lasts a single frame, so the player doesn't notice. But with the 2 or more render passes needed for portals, it happens. Sorry, my kid's waking up. I'll probably have to leave soon. Give it a minute. Maybe she'll go back to sleep. Another issue that was raised earlier is the issue of shadows. As mentioned, enabling shadows for point lights doesn't work very well if you have more than a half dozen point lights, because each point light generates 6 shadow maps. Hey, not Amanula, thank you for joining. Thank you for all your comments. They're actually really helping me out. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. I figured I could get away with enabling shadows for the directional light only, since there's only one of those. This looks mostly okay, even at night. The lack of shadows from the point lights is fairly subtle, especially given the limited radius. Is somebody talking? My wife might be home. Hold on a second. Sorry, everybody. I guess if she's home, I don't have to worry about this anymore. Okay, yeah. That's my wife, everybody. Okay, back to reading. The lack of shadows from the point lights is fairly subtle, especially given the limited radius of the point lights. Nighttime view. That's an interesting thought, is changing the aspects of the point lights. The distance. So we're adding a light that has a distance of 100 by default. Maybe if we change that light distance a little bit, maybe we can see what, well, let's just see what happens to the performance, I guess. So which argument of our function is the distance? It is the third argument. So when we're doing fill the board, yeah, that one, we're setting the distance to 1000. Okay, let's just reduce these by 10. Or, you know, divide them by 10. And let's see what kind of impact that has on our performance. We're running on the server. I'm not sure why it takes so long to pull up. I got something commented out right there. I would never know the results of this because it wouldn't have rendered, unfortunately. There it is. Now it's not moving, and that's because we changed the matrix update to false. We have to comment that out as well, apparently. There we go. So let's fill it up. Yeah, performance is still pretty terrible. pretty awful. Let's see what it's like when we cut the number of rows in half. So in my geometries, I have a number of columns and a number of rows. Let me cut them both in half. And, you know, I don't think, do you need half the columns and half the rows? I'm not sure. Yeah. Let's see how that performs. I'm looking for a quick fix, to be honest. See? There we go. That's all we gotta do. Still not quite what I want, but it is a little bit better. We want 60 FPS minimum, and that ain't it. And this is going to be ridiculously low resolution, but we are looking for working is what we want. Yeah. But as you can see, working. So that's one thing to do with it. And look, you can see as I add more and more and more, it just becomes a mess. I'll have to clean that up. That's one thing to do, huh? The quickest way is to get somebody else to do it. Yeah. Why is that up there? It's weird. I didn't mean to do that. I must have copied it on there. Yeah, obviously that's not an acceptable solution, but I think that the moral of the story here is less lights equals less lights equals better performance. All right, but that's no good. I liked the number of lights that we had previously. So let's go into seeing about maybe doing an instanced mesh, since we're taking the mesh that we have and we're passing it into the light. I'm not sure what the relationship that would have with the instance mesh object. So over here we have this box is one, and maybe we can use an instanced mesh as the light itself. But then would that make our lights all the same color? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so, actually, because look, our color is set on the material right there. So I'm not sure. Also, here's another thing. I don't think we need to create a new material every single time. Maybe we can just reuse the same material. But I digress. I'm seriously procrastinating. Let's just do this. Let's just do this, right? Let's put it on here. Just right there. Let's go const pegs equals that. And we're not going to use the geometry box. We're going to use that material we have defined lower. Let's see. That's the one that we want to use, but we have... It's almost as if we have to render some colors by default, which kind of sucks. But, I mean, it is what it is at this point. Let's just test it out and make sure that it works, and then we'll figure out from there how we're going to change the color of... Maybe we want to go with just adding some colors by default. Maybe we can be... yeah, I don't know. No idea. Maybe the material should be loaded only when it's selected, which it is when what it is in reality. So, but if one already exists, that's what we should do. We should index the materials and keep them in memory, and then whenever somebody needs them again, they'll be already there. I think that's going to be it. So they'll be indexed by their integer value, basically. Not right now, but in the future. Now, the thing about this, though, is we do need to know our num columns in our num, that stuff. Let's roll this back. I tripped a little bit. I wasn't doing a dance move. Alright, so now we got num columns and num rows. We're going to multiply these together to get our number of instances. I don't know, are we? Yeah. I like them to be in the order that they appear. Num columns and num rows. We're gonna do here. Yeah, exactly. And what is that one again? What does that one represent? I'm not sure. I don't care. Where do we pass in the material, though? Hold on a second. Oh yeah, I had that over here. Yeah, so in the instance mesh, the second argument is the material. I'm not sure why we don't have that going on here. I don't know what Copilot is thinking. This is not the correct argument configuration. It needs to be first the geometry, and then the second argument is the material, which we don't have. Peg material, and we're giving it that one color, which, what is that? I think that's black. We don't want it to be black. We want it to have some kind of hue to it, or be lighter than black, so that we can freaking see it, basically. Okay, and then we'll pass it in like that. Then what I'm told in my brain is that we need to create a loop and set these positions. No. I don't have a shadow layer. Is that what I need? Yeah, I think that's what... Shadow layer. Sounds like a evil thing. The shadow layer. We're going into the shadow layer. I just want to try... You know... that. That's what I want to try. Yes. Can we do that? Alright. I'm not sure what's going to happen. Let's see. Nothing. There you go. Totally anticlimactic. Nothing is undefined, though. That's pretty cool. I guess. But yeah, no. Unless they're, like, very small and I can't see them, they're not there. Yeah. I don't think it's gonna happen with this right now. Isn't this the other way around? Shouldn't it be peg light, add, and then scene, add, peg light? Oh, I guess not. Wait, were we not adding to scene previously? Oh, okay. Interesting, interesting. So, do we not have scene imported here? Yeah, we're gonna need it. We're gonna need it. Alright, well, where we are importing scene is post-processing. But actually we're passing that in. So we're not really importing it anywhere. I think what we're gonna have to do is make this into a function like this. Oops. Come on. Go. Do the rest. I shouldn't complain. It does a pretty good job. That ain't right. Yeah, no. This is I guess this is probably not right what I'm trying to do. But at least we can maybe see the pegs on the page and see if this has a better performance. Right? Let's see. Oh yeah, forgot. Gotta call the function. And we gotta export the function. So let's do all that stuff. Alright, that's exporting the function on main.js. That's gonna be importing the function. And then finally over here in init, just like the last thing right here, we'll just call init pegs right there. And there they are. And as you can see, well, once I click, it causes a bit of a problem. because now it's filling it with lights again. So let's kill that real quick. Let's change the event listener. Click this one to do add light again. And all that stuff is fine. Then we won't be caught in these tricky situations again. Okay, cool. Much more performant. Oh, look, it's still doing it. Are those the lights? Are those the materials? Huh. Should have updated that function. See what's going on there. For some reason, it's still that function. What? Oh, well, there it is. I didn't comment out the other function. Might be quitting time soon. Just get rid of it. See you later. I kind of want to try indexing the materials by... My browser's messed up. I want to try indexing the materials and reusing them and see what kind of performance gains we can get out of that monster. No issues with the instance mesh, as you can see. How to add light to that, I guess, is my question. And color. It's supposed to have color, I thought. Oh no, it doesn't have color, that's right. I thought that this material could be lit. Let me see. Hold on a second. There we go. I guess that the Fong material is actually the teapots there. Let me look at the code. I thought that the circles, the spheres, were going to be that material as well. No, see, well, there's mesh Fong node material. And then the light, you add the mesh to the light. I gotta Google it again. So how do we add an instance mesh to a light? Or I'm gonna Google something. Oh wait. THREE.js. Instance mesh. Special version of mesh. Set matrix. Is there any material that supports lighting that I could use set color at in instance mesh? That's not helpful for me. Let's see, what else do we got? Let's see. How about instanced point light? Oh, THREE.js, the... Oh my god, why doesn't exist? I'm gonna have to do some kind of trick with it. I did notice that the light didn't really do much. When, you know, they were all on the same place, like it just looked, you know, relatively dull. So maybe the light is just, maybe if they're touching, get rid of the light or something. I don't know. Like maybe we only care about the light on the outer ones. You know what I mean? Interesting thought. Okay, so I have the instanced mesh going. Works pretty good. There, I mean, there's no issues that I can see. I gotta think about this. Hold on a second. I guess first I just want to make them random colors and see what that looks like. There we go. I think that'll do the job. Let's see what we look like with random colors on this board. Well, that didn't work. Colors is not defined. Oops. Nice. Well, I wanted the colors to change, but I think my camera just died. I think that's a sign that we'll come back to this another day. I'm sensing a little bit more learning that's needed on my part for this particular challenge. Thank you guys for watching, and hopefully I'll see you around next time. Don't forget to subscribe and follow on Twitch if you haven't already. Subscribe on YouTube, follow on Twitch. You know how it is. Alright, see you later.